can. I wanted to catch the sunrise. There we go. I want to get off the highway. Batteries. Okay. A little bit sweaty, a little bit foggy right now. Check the temperature. It said it was 9 degrees. So I kind of wanted to warm up a little bit anyways. I feel like it's like right in my face. So this is my really first time using this Osmo, Pocket Osmo 3 or something it's called, I think. Oh wow, I like the way it's catching me anyways, and I'm sure it's a lot more stable than my other camera. That old building right there used to be the schoolhouse for the whole area. And that's the remnants of it left. Yeah. So these are what my walks consist of. Recently I haven't been going for so many walks because they aren't very enjoyable because of the bugs. The bugs are just atrocious. I'm sure I've said it quite a few times before. But yeah, bugs are atrocious. So if I can catch them early in the morning, get out. I'm running now a little more. Starting to get my lungs back. Feeling in a lot better shape than I've been in a very long time. It's taking a little bit for the sun to come up. Clouds are coming up as fast as the sun. That's okay. I don't want too much sun to get the bugs out here. So yeah. First time with the Osmo. Getting used to it. I like the way it, oh yeah, that's cool. You always get a little bit of hesitation when you're starting a new piece of software or equipment that you've never used before. And for me, I do quite a bit of active stuff. I mean, not all the time, but I don't want to be wrecking this nice camera. Definitely doing what I'm doing. But that's no excuse to not use good quality equipment to film myself, because that's what you guys want to see and that's what I kind of want to produce. You know, I want to produce high quality film. So I guess I'll just kind of get it back on myself again for a little bit here. I wonder how this will work here. Oh, like that. Yeah, we're far from the sunrise. Oh, you can see it starting to come up here now. I'll go back on the mountain again. It's starting to come back up. The sun's coming up now. Okay, I thought about doing YouTube. My cousin and I we used to go out like all the time. We go out fishing and hiking, and we know, I would say 90% of the most beautiful spots in the surrounding area. And I actually live within minutes of one, of many of them too. So we were like just jokingly a few years ago saying, oh, we gotta figure out a way to, like, you know, film ourselves and then, you know, get it on YouTube. And you know, you really, I guess that was the start of the spark. But really, you're just kind of clueless. You don't really know how to get started. You don't know what you're doing. And so, you know, years pass, dreams kind of fade out, and you know, those thoughts are still in the back of your mind. I guess over time, I just kind of I guess it was last year. I can't pinpoint the time when it really kind of got started, but it's well over a year now. It's probably like 15 months ago, really close to when I was like, I just want to start making some content, and we got to start figuring out a way to get something going here. I knew editing would be my largest hurdle, and it still is. So roughly around 15 months ago, I was like, okay, we're gonna get a camera. We'll start doing something here, because I mean, I'm always fixing stuff in the garage, constantly doing chores. I'm watching these YouTube channels and these people just literally doing everyday mundane things, and you know, they're getting lots of likes, they're getting lots of subscriptions, people are loving it, and it's, you know what, you're watching it yourself, and you're like, you know what, I don't really care to watch just smut, or I don't know what you can even call it, even reality TV. Like some people, they over edit their shows, and people want raw videos. People want to hear people talking. They want to see people's life experiences. And that's where I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So 15 months ago, I was working out of town. Oh, I see sun coming up. I was working out of town. I'll just say it's roughly about a 9-hour drive from my home door, and we were living in dorms. You see the sun's coming up there now. Started thinking more and more of it. Started watching more and more YouTube. Getting more serious about it, and started doing content. Started filming myself doing stuff around the yard, and then my brother passed away last May long weekend, so it'll be a year and a month and a bit, and that took the wind out of my sails for sure. You know, obviously I'm not going to be so photogenic, not wanting to be photogenic, not wanting to see, you know, not wanting to see people in general. And then a couple months pass, and then we had a rescue dog that got into a fight with Odie. You guys have seen Odie already. and Odie got a big gouge on his chest, and from the fight, he beat this dog up twice. We had him for 10 months. He was fine, and then all of a sudden he just figured he'd try and fight Odie, but Odie had enough of him, and that's what basically happened. Odie just kind of had enough of him. And anyways, he got a big gouge in his chest, and he got septic, and we almost lost Odie. And it was close to around this time last year, maybe a month earlier, but still, it was very traumatic. We almost lost him, and thousands of dollars later, and living with now to be the dangerous dog, the rescue, we had to get rid of him. So losing my brother, having this massive dog issue at the house, having to work out of town, massive combination of, life just hitting you all at once. I'm just stopping right now because I'm coming up on neighbors here. I got to stop pretty soon. But yeah, life hit me all at once, and then what else happened? Oh yeah, I was working in a pretty toxic work environment. A lot of good people there, but not a lot of good people too at the same time. A lot of drug abuse, and around the time my brother died, I decided I'm not going to drink anymore. I just didn't want to drink. I lost my passion to drink, and so I didn't want to be around substance abuse. And it really bothered me being around people that were bossing me around, that were actually, obviously high. So that happened. So when I came back home, I was only off for a little bit, got a job, built a hotel over the winter, got it was pretty decent, and then went back to another job with the same company, and it was like right back to toxic again, like one of the worst environments you ever could imagine. And so now I'm back off just for a little bit. I know I'll be back to work soon. There's a lot of big projects coming up soon, so I'm just biding my time, making sure I get on those good projects. I'll be busy all next year for sure, and into the fall after for sure. Into the fall we'll be doing lots of work. There's lots of work coming up here. So now I'm taking this serious again. I've taken lots of steps to get to this point right now with the Osmo. Learning editing is coming, it's happening. I'm literally the most average Joe in the world, and if I can do it, you can do it for sure. Yeah, here we are. Come join my life. Watch me progress into a better human being. Yeah, I'm just going to turn this off because I'm coming up on neighbors here, and I don't want them thinking I'm filming their property. I'm not going to film our neighbors' properties. It's kind of awkward, eh? Okay, we're back. I only got one more neighbor up here that's living here. We'll have some new neighbors living eventually. Our municipality is in very much demand of taxpayer money. Yeah. Actually, I don't mind that. I can hold the Osmo even down a little bit. So like I was saying, my progression to YouTube wasn't like just like sporadic, and it wasn't like wham bam it's gonna happen. It was a long process, and it still remains to be a long process. I think as human beings we are sensitive. We just don't want, certain people to see our videos, and even like, comments, bad comments. You're sure you're gonna get a few of them here and there. Those are discouraging, but those aren't real people. Those aren't people that know you. And maybe that's one of the most intimidating things too about getting yourself out there is being vulnerable. And there's a fine line between vulnerable, sharing quality, and being narcissistic, and just doing it just plainly for the money. I'm not going to say I'm lonely, but very much alone. I'm learning to be more alone. And I'll tell you, the more I do it, the more I like it, and the more I'm getting used to my own company. You know what I mean? At my age, I'm assuming this is what's natural for most guys, is you kind of lone out, and if you don't smarten up, we just end up being like a mess the rest of our lives. That takes us down the worst paths possible. Not to preach Jordan Peterson too much, but we got to be accountable for our actions, and I feel like it took me 48 years to kind of realize a lot of things, and that's why I think it's a perfect time for me to start this vlog. I'm very fortunate to be able to do a lot of research on how to do this, and now I have the top quality products to be able to pump this stuff out. So everything's aligning. Everything seems to be aligning all at once here. Kind of seems like divine. I seem to be at my tail end of my wits too, because of just the workforce now in general. It seems like everywhere you go, you're not fighting something. It's like you're fighting demons on a different level, on a reality level. People with substance abuse issues in crowds, in a monopoly setting where all of a sudden all your coworkers are doing these things, and then it gets into the upper management and the foremans and the lead hands, and then all of a sudden, this guy is sober, chooses to be sober, trying to remain sober, is like the unwanted one, the one that they want to push out. And yeah, like this just happened like a year ago. So and rejection is going to be hard on a guy, and but I'm getting over that stuff. I don't really worry. I rambled off about my work experience there. Oh yeah, I was just saying, like, yeah, egos you're gonna find egos everywhere too, right? Especially in concrete. There's always gonna be the one finisher who's better, or the one finisher that's been with the company long enough that they find you intimidating, and they'll do whatever they can to make you look like less of a person, or that you have less qualities. And so yeah, that's where I'm getting at in my life. I'm kind of getting to that point where it doesn't really matter where you're at. There's always going to be probably 20 years younger and thinking they have 10 times more experience, and they were given the chance. They're not going to give you a chance. A lot of people, they're afraid they're going to lose their jobs. believe it or not. So that's why a lot of people are held back. I have a small concrete finishing business also myself, which I did feels like 10 years ago, and it was 10 years ago. I survived for roughly 3 years. I had no idea what I was doing. I gotta learn to stop saying but I didn't know what I was doing. Wanted to leave another job that wasn't appreciating me, and so I left this job. Well, because I just eventually couldn't take it any longer. Don't ever let a job ruin your soul, drag you down, make them feel like they own you. That's not what this, I mean, that's the old school mentality of work. Kind of have the guy under their thumb of some sort. So that's what I was like. I was definitely under their thumb for a while, but I left. And so, just want to show you this view right here. Ice forms on there, and sometimes you get ice climbers come up from all over the place. Depends on the year. So yeah, anyways, I went back. I got into doing my own concrete finishing, and had to learn customer service, had to learn a lot of things, how to do books. My biggest thing was I thought, oh yeah, you know, I've been in the industry now for 15 years, maybe even a little longer, maybe 20 years. And I got to know not everybody, but a lot of people in the industry. You know, I delivered concrete to them, so I mean, got to know them and spent a lot of time with them. Got to watch all the best finishers in town, which ones I thought were best finishers anyways, and I got to pick up their good little tricks and habits of how to finish concrete. So I like to think I have a pretty good knowledge of how to finish concrete, but at the same time, until you actually get out there and do it yourself, you'll never get it. So over a long period of time, I formed and finished with this old Portuguese. I think at the time he's just old school. He liked me. Took him a while to like me, but he liked me. And he wouldn't teach me how to finish 100%. He wouldn't let me run the whirly bird or pull the straight edge. So I had to do all that stuff on my own. So I mean, over 15, 18 years, eventually, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on my own, do my own thing. But then we had Torsten's 9 now, and my wife was working for the city. She just got a job with the city, so whatever she could work was going towards her seniority, was going to get her a full-time position in the near future. So I stayed home and took care of Torsten for the first year, 2-3 years. And then we had the opportunity of moving out to the country. Wife's grandmother passed away, and then grandfather had to go into an old folks home, so the house went up for sale and we bought it from the family. We were very fortunate to do that. And I was just on the tail end. We had Torsten, he was only like 1 year old, And I was just starting to get work. I got some big jobs, like at least asked to do big jobs, and I was just like kind of like, ooh, by myself. Tried to get help, couldn't find any help. You know, unfortunately, I had to turn them all down. And so yeah, it was difficult having a young kid at the time, and just our situation, being in town and then having to move to the country. So then, as soon as I moved back to the country, or moved to the country, I started working again. Torsten was able to get babysat by the in-laws because we live within kilometers of them, and kind of settled into country living. And I've bounced around from a few jobs over the last 8 years since my business, and I'm back in the union. I've been in the union for quite a couple years now, a few years, and I think it's 4 or something, maybe at best, but I like it. You know what I mean? They find you work, and it's good money. You know, better money than I could ever imagine when I was young. I was non-union. We sacrifice our pension. We sacrifice a lot of things, benefits, everything for our families. We work overtime for one guy who seems to eventually over time not appreciate what you've done for him, and basically what you've done for him has got him rich. And yeah, not going to go into that. Many of those people around. Oh, there goes the neighbor. I remember it's like 7:30 this morning, probably close to 7:30. Most people are just starting their day. So yeah, that transition from, I'm bouncing all over the place here, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. Getting a little bit of Talladega Nights all of a sudden here. Once I see people, I start freaking out. Gotta get over that. That's gonna be one of my biggest hurdles. So, yeah, that basically sums it up. Probably gonna be, well, I already know what I lacked when I was in business. I lacked help. It wasn't because of me, and it was because I couldn't afford to have somebody full time. I can get somebody part time. What happens is the people I knew in the industry, they know what they're gonna make. They know what you're making, and they get jealous, envious, and people you ask to help eventually want more than, you know, they want half of what you're making because they know already, right? So they won't help you. Or you just have people that are all messed up on substance abuses, and they're just never gonna help you. They'll say they will, but they never do. So I was missing that. I was lacking help. So I thought, what's the best thing, you know, in getting help is buying equipment. I couldn't afford a Mini X back then, and they weren't so readily available. They didn't make the aftermarket ones then, 10 years ago. No, they were all brand names, and they're all very expensive, and they're all with just low hours, or even high. I mean, they had high hours, and they wanted lots for them, and it just wasn't feasible. I bought a Bobcat. That was an old Bobcat, thinking, oh, that was gonna help me out. Ended up breaking right away. So Now I have a Mini X, and I feel I'm going to lean more towards doing small machinery work and, you know, yard, property maintenance kind of work, and then do concrete as it comes. And then do this YouTube. And we're going to film all those videos. I'm just going to turn it off again because we're going by the neighbor's house. I don't want to turn into Talladega Nights and not sure what to do with my hands. Okay, we're back. I just literally stopped. Everything smells like skunk right now. But I stopped for a second, you know, tie my shoe or so. And the mosquitoes literally like at Q, like I was fine for like the last 20-40 minutes out here. You stop for a second and there's a cloud on you. A cloud of mosquitoes. Just like swarming you, and they get right in your face and going up in your glasses, and put your hoodie on and they're up in your ears, and it's like, oh my gosh. This is the reason why we're not out here. Could be a very large reason why this area is not that populated too. So kind of going off a little bit on topic about, I want to kind of lead to what me doing this, I guess. Having my own business taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about people. I learned unfortunately, I had some trial and error with friends and family. I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping and thinking that people would be congratulative and generous to a point, and you know, consider my work, you know, to be valuable, and not want it for next to nothing. I had people come out of the woodwork. I had family I didn't even know, honestly, like, or haven't heard from a long time. People calling from high school. People were close friends at the time, wanting work done, but then also wanting it basically for free, or like at a supreme discount, which I made the mistake of doing with one friend. You know, turned out I was working for probably $5 an hour, and he treated me like I was like, literally, he hired me and he wanted me to work when he wanted to work, and this and that. It's like, it's not the way it's working, buddy. Everything we did, he'd critique and try to somehow say I wasn't doing it right, or it wasn't that he wasn't saying I do it right. He would just not trust my judgment, or just want to be in control. More or less, I think it was just wanting to be in control. But I mean, if you hire somebody, or if you want someone to do a trade or a job that you're not going to do, obviously you don't know don't know much about it. So live and learn. Huge lessons. No longer am friends with that person. No longer work for the people that treated me unfairly, and I no longer take BS from anybody. Like I said, I'm alone in this world. I am alone in this world. I have no family left. I have like 2 cousins that I talk to, and I talk to them rarely. All the uncles, mom and dad, grandma and grandpas, everybody's passed away. Brother and sister passed away. And I think that's where the turning point was when my brother died. He was probably the closest thing I had to a father figure, because our father was not much of a father. I'm sure I'll get into more detail about that in the future. I don't want vlogs to be negative or anything like that, but just going off. I was watching Think Big, and his name's Sean, I believe. I forget his last name. I want to get whatever, pronounce it better next time. But he's saying just hit record, and start filming, and that's basically what I'm doing. So yeah, so you're alone in this world. I'm alone in this world now for sure. We are alone. We're from the time we're born to the time we die, but like truly alone. I have my wife and 2 kids and 3 dogs. So like I was saying, everything's kind of lining up for me to start making these videos, because I think I can actually bring some value to the world. I can I want to showcase our surrounding area and basically highlight healthy living, healthy mental health living for men, especially living in North America. And I don't know, I'm sure if you watch the news, I don't want to go there, but what a world we're living in right now, eh? And I think this is the kind of escape that the world wants to see. And I just wanted to show you guys my little beautiful part of the country. And here's where I find a little bit of peace and serenity in the mornings. It takes me about an hour and 50 minutes for this walk. If I run, it takes probably upwards of 40 to 45. But I can't run and vlog at the same time. And right now, I'm keeping a pretty steady pace, and the mosquitoes are at bay. But if I stop for a second here, they're gonna get me. Usually there's sandhill cranes around here. There's a couple that live around here. I seen a mama bear and her cubs walking down here, going into the field. And the wolves, they come down from the mountains, especially. They probably come down all the time. This road's kind of a pipeline for wildlife to come out of the hills. I don't notice it now. You'll notice it when it rains a bit. You'll see tracks, fresh tracks, or especially when it snows. I've seen a pack of wolves come. Well, not a pack. I haven't seen it, but I see the tracks coming down. Okay, well, I'm gonna sign out. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the new camera and the views. Get work done, folks. Embrace those tiny victories. They amount to huge ones. They all pile up, and the next thing you know, you're like, wow, did that. So you move on to other ones. Appreciate y'all. Following me. Okay. Face detection mode is on.